With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. Taking it about the 1. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
First carry now for Kareem Hunt. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run. And let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And again, it's Chubb. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And that flag accepted. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They go play action now. Jackson. And this one is incomplete. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson. The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. They're already trailing here in this first quarter. Last thing they needed was to cough the football. They coughed it up, but luckily for them, it went out of bounds.
Yeah, still a long way to go, but when you're losing, every possession takes on a little bit more importance, doesn't it? And in that case, they almost made this game a lot more difficult for themselves by turning it over. Fortunate there.
Jackson going to find his running back here. It's Dobbins. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. A gain of 8 there on the play. And they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. The Ravens at 2-4 here in the first half of the year. Yeah, they've lost 3 straight here. It kind of goes without saying, I guess, but they could certainly use a win.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There's a difference between a losing stretch and a losing streak. And right now, they're not playing their best football, but if they were to fall here, and now you're looking at going 4 games without a win, things can start compounding themselves pretty quickly from this point forward.
Play action. It's Jackson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Jackson now. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
To throw again is Jackson. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. 2 yards on the pickup there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. To throw is Jackson. He rifles one that's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And the Browns are going to take over at their own 41.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
They begin this drive with Chubb, and able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, You might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. They run it again with Chubb. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Jedrick Wills, former first-round pick, guilty there.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Watson. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week, and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and he can't do it all on one throw.
After the interception, here's Jackson. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Jackson. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And he will have a Ravens 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. After 7-0 on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. Desmond Trufant there making the tackle.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Another run here with Dobbins. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, Jackson eluding the pressure right.
He'll get this complete to Board.
And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. A handoff running left is Dobbins. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
The Ravens on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Fourth down now after a loss of 2.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Tucker's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Browns drive about to get started.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Up the middle, it's Chubb.
And he's going to have a Browns first down as good running gets him to about the 44.
When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
Now left side on the swing pass.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Chubb on the counter. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now a handoff. Hunt's going to run left. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Kareem Hunt. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
Extra point by York is up and good.
And that pushes the lead up to 11. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. Set at the line for this next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. From the 31, Jackson. Dancing to his left. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 33 yards that time.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down.
Man open is board. It's complete. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
This has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Flushed out right. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
Jackson to Bateman there, first down Ravens.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
So an incomplete pass a moment ago, and that leads to second and goal. Jackson going to give this one to Edward.
So the late touchdown there, and that certainly changes things as we move toward halftime.
Yeah, and there's a potential for things to change even more because, remember, they get the ball first to start the third quarter. So they can potentially double up here and take the lead. A great opportunity for them.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. From just inside the 20, a short kick.
The Browns drive about to get started.
And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together.
On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Partner, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey.
Oh, we cleaned it up, baby.
So we come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Browns with the lead. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the third quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
And they're on the short end of the scoreboard here. Charles, what adjustments, if any, do you think they need to make for the second half?
Well, paraphrasing the gold medal hockey winning coach Herb Brooks, I just say you continue to play your game. Throw the ball. They had success doing it in the first half. So make sure you keep getting the ball to your playmakers, a little bit more to the perimeter perhaps. But above all, play your game.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Antonio Callaway, his first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now 17-14. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Very short kick taken right at the 20.
The Browns drive about to get started.
And they'll be working from behind now following the touchdown a moment ago on the opening drive of the half.
I think the guys right now, as they go out on offense, they're zeroing in on one big key. They don't have to do anything differently just because they're down on the scoreboard now. The intent, still the same in what they plan to do on offense.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
The 71 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge.
Watson's throw taken in by Cooper here.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
They'll try the draw now with Chubb. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Chubb will get the call running left. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And he stopped immediately there.
Getting in there for the tackle, Marcus Williams.
The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. And
he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. And that could turn out to be a giant play, Charles. You've got an offense driving to take the lead, but they're turned away on the INT.
And I think that we might look back on this in the fourth quarter and say, that was the play of the game.
45 to Mike. 45 to Mike. Come on, D. Check. He's report.
They'll run with Edwards here to begin the drive. And some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the two tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. Alexander Johnson there on the stop.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those three guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, are usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
And he's going to be met at about the 43.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Throwing is Jackson.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
And partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
Play action. Now Jackson. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. They go back to the ground with Dobbins.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop. Is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They go play action with Jackson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, a 12-yard touchdown grab.
And the Ravens get an important score there to extend their lead here in this fourth quarter.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Taken from about the 12.
The Browns drive about to get started.
And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. Oh, Cooper with a nice grab.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now, they may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple scores. And they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line.
There's the athleticism of Tyus Bowser on display, wrapping him up no problem.
Pretty straightforward play there by the linebacker. He saw the run, went with straight-ahead pursuit, and dumped him behind the line of scrimmage.
Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Caught left side by Hilton. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3. Desperation time. Watson on 4th down. Steps away to his left.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
I don't know about you, but can you just almost feel the relief that's gone through this stadium? He picked up that 1st down. Without it, this game is over.
And when he took off, it was almost like, oh, no, this might be it, but found a way to pick up the 1st. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They go up the middle with Chubb.
And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. 104 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
That run wasn't a big breaker, but I don't think the guys on offense mind very much. They've got a nice drive going, and they might just be luring the defense in a little bit. They could probably come back with a play action, maybe go over the top. But right now, on this drive, their playbook is open.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play, backwards a yard.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Out of the gun, Watson. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Marcus Williams.
And the Ravens are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. And that pretty much has been the storyline, Charles. This defense, they seem to be one step ahead from the start of the game until now.
And you identified it perfectly, and we can see the frustration that's settling in now. And it's probably been there for a long time, but now it's evident because you can see it in their faces, you can see it in their body language, maybe even a little bit in that play call that ended up maybe closing them out.
Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews.
There he goes left side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Ravens look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
Jackson here, he's going to look to throw. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. A.J. Boye with a pick. He's at the 50, 30, the 20. And he takes it all the way back. It's a pick 2, if you will. trouble as that play backfires in a big way. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Taken from about the 12.
The Browns drive about to get started.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's fourth down.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
The Browns send out their punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And not much happening there, not much at all. They'll get to it and down it, but at the 35-yard line. So a special teams mistake on a long punt return.
And think about the momentum that leaks out after that play, right? It's built up, terrific return, everyone's excited, but that flag on the ground can bring it way, way back.
He's going to rifle one deep left side, and that is incomplete.
After what they've faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
3rd and 2. Here's Jackson. He wants it all for the end zone. Got a man. It's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Ravens tack on another score as they have dominated this 4th quarter. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Pulls it in at the 13. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started.
It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case.
On first down, Watson. And now here is another interception.
Picked off by Jimmy Moreland.
And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less caliber. I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go.
Well, Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense